City Council order. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As required by Section 84-1412, subsection A of the Nebraska statutes, notice is hereby given that a copy of the Opens Meeting Act is posted for examination on the wall inside the door to the City Council chambers. Before we have roll call, I'd just like to welcome all of our guests this evening. Could we have roll call, please?
George Klein.
Here.
Shane Shepherd.
Here.
Mark Graves.
Here.
Kevin Alexi.
Here.
Clay Anderson.
Here.
Could we have a motion for approval of the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Kevin, seconded by Mark to approve the agenda. Could we have roll call, please?
Anderson.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Graves.
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Could we have a motion for approval of the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Clay, seconded by Shane to approve the consent agenda. It includes minutes for the special council meeting held October 29th and the regular council meeting that was held November 3rd. Minutes for boards and commissions from the Citizen Advisory Review Committee, Community Development held October 27th. Monthly Treasurer's Report for October 2025, which is the first year of our new fiscal year, and monthly water report for October 2025, and fire department membership update. They're currently at 46 active members. So I think you've added a couple, which is good. Anyone have any questions? Comments? If not, have a roll call, please.
Anderson.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Graves.
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Okay. Introduction of new aquatic center assistant manager.
That's right. I'm pleased to announce that Ryan Weatherman has come on to staff, I think 2 weeks now. So he's a welcome addition. He is a full-time employee, so hopefully that'll give us a little more consistency with our hours there at the Aquatic Center. But I will let Ryan tell you what his background is.
Good evening. I have worked as a lifeguard for 3 years, managed the Westmore Pool, or assistant managed, changed of 2024 for 2 years. That included keeping up maintenance on the facility itself, running the features, fixing problems, and taking charge of the lifeguards that were on duty and ensuring that they're doing their job in the right way and safely, and making sure all of the patrons are safe. And
And tell him where the Westmore Pool is.
Scottsbluff, Nebraska. I'm sorry, I'm from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. So,
And he also worked with the Public Works Department in Scottsbluff.
yes, the transportation department for a year. I have my CDL. I think that's all my certifications I got from that job. So
How long you been in the area? I mean, up in Chadron area?
I moved up here October 31st. So
What brought you up here, just the job?
yes, I love working the pool. I swam when I was a kid competitively, and getting the opportunity to work full time in an aquatic facility just piqued my interest, because I don't know what it is. I guess I grew up around the water, and I love to do that and try to keep that alive. The competitive swimming and just how an aquatic center brings people together.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to hear.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you.
Whoops. Did you want anything more, George?
No.
Next one. Now with Deb.
I'd say
Okay.
good to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay. Deb Cottier from the Northwest Nebraska Development Corporation.
Deb Cottier, I live at 428 North Chadron Avenue. I'm here tonight to give you a brief update, as I generally do on the second council meeting of the month. You should have received a written report in your packets, which is pretty short. We've had a couple of meetings that I think may eventually bring us some activity in the regard of the grocery store, but most of my time in the past 3 weeks or so has been sharing as much information as I can with John Reed, who is the director who will take my place the 1st of December. If you have any questions about the report, I'd be happy to answer those. But really, I'm here tonight to introduce John to you and let him come up here and share with you a little bit of his background and his impressions maybe of very few hours trying to learn everything from a water hose, from a fire hose, as they say. John comes from Gordon, and so don't take it as rude if he leaves when he's done here, because he's got to drive to get home to Gordon. John, if you'd please come up. I'll just let you.
I recognize a couple people. My name's John Reed. I was city manager at Gordon for a while before I took this position. Prior to that, I did a lot of construction project management and a lot of marketing for manufacturers, 6 multi-state regions, that kind of thing. This seems to be a really good fit. Everything that I've seen so far has been right up my alley. A lot of what I've done previously has been adjacent to this position, and obviously city managers right there as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and I think we, like Deb said, I think we have a couple of good leads for how we're going to be able to backfill the Safeway, which is going to be like my top priority going in. They're being a little resistant, obviously, to work with us, but nothing I haven't dealt with before, so I'm looking forward to that. And you know, my closing remarks will be moving forward until, you know, the 1st of December. If you have, if you want to introduce yourself, or if you have good news or you have a good opportunity, bring that to me. If it's a problem or trouble, please direct that to Deb until she's gone. All right, thanks, everybody. Look forward to working with you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Look forward to working with you.
Yep.
Okay. Item D on the agenda.
I'll introduce resolution 2025-102, move for its approval.
I'll second.
Motion by Shane, seconded by Kevin, for resolution 2025-102, which is to approve specifications for one 2025 or newer 4x4 utility vehicle with trade-in equipment option for the Parks and Cemetery Department, and authorized notice to dealers.
Scott's not here
Scott's
tonight
not
because
here.
he's sick,
You,
and I will take his place the best I
okay,
can.
all right. Tell us
So-
all about it.
Well, what we're trying to do is we're looking at replacing a piece of equipment. It's a 2013 Polaris Ranger that we have out there at the parks right now. This is a piece of equipment that we use for snow removal. We also send our part-time and seasonal time guys around to cover different areas, from sprinkler repairs to whatever else that we need. He has looked into the possibility of getting some used pieces of equipment, but this is one of those areas that where used pieces of equipment are still quite high compared to some of the newer stuff, so that's why we looked at the possibility of doing a newer unit on this one. We are looking at an optional trade-in, as you can see on our spec sheets for it, and there's some other options that we've added to it. The enclosed cab, 2,500-pound winch, some of those things to help us out with some of the things that we're looking at. It is a budgeted item that we've put in there, and we feel fairly confident that we'll be able to get within those price ranges. And so we're asking for the council to approve the specs and allow us to go out for bids. try to answer any questions that we can possibly do for you.
I don't know, I'm not very familiar with specifications on a UTV, UTV, but,
It is one of those things, like I said, during the winter months, they probably get seen a little bit more because it is one of the first things that are out trying to clean off some sidewalks and different things too, as far as that goes. It's part of their just regular maintenance type equipment.
How old is the one that they're hoping to trade off?
It's 2013.
there aren't any other questions. We have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Graves.
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Thank you, council.
Okay, next on the agenda,
I'll introduce resolution 2025-103 and move for its approval.
Second. Oh,
Got it.
second that.
motion by Clay, second by Shane, resolution 2025-103, which is to approve the application of the American Legion Bill Dowling Post 12 for community development funds. We don't have anyone here from the Legion. Just for the public's information, it's $13,980, which is to replace 2 large windows at the front of their building, as well as purchasing a 3-pot sink and faucet for the kitchen. I was somewhat an instigator of encouraging the American Legion to apply for this. Emily and I went there for something this summer, and they had a pot out there, a cookie jar or something for it, put contributions in it to do some improvements from fixing on the building. And so I said, you ought to need to look into the LB 840 community development funds. And so we're at this point, and then this is kind of the start of them. They might have some more things coming in the future, but they don't have firm figures. But this gets these items that won't be a hindrance and won't be double spending if they go ahead with other things. So, and the American Legion, in my opinion, does a nice service of keeping their club running. There's a number of community functions that are held in that building.
And a note, the Community Development Citizen Advisory Committee voted all in favor of this, so.
Okay. Could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Graves.
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Okay. Item number F.
I'll introduce resolution 2025-104 and move for its approval.
I'll second.
Motion by Mark, second by Kevin. Resolution 2025-104, which is to approve payment application number 1 to Fuller Construction Company for the 6th and Maple repair project. Janet is here to.
Yes, good evening. As you can see, the pay estimate number 1 is in amount of $4,297.44. We met with Fuller Construction and the engineers last week and talked about timeline for completion. I know that we've had a couple people pretty anxious to be able to drive down 6th Street. Hopefully, I know last Friday they did pour one of the fillets remaining on the street and some sidewalk. They still have the north fillet, I believe, to pour, and then a little more sidewalk on that side of the street. When we discussed, they were gonna try to get all of the 2 fillets done by today, and obviously with the rain, I'm sure that didn't happen. Because our goal is to have it open by next Monday or Tuesday. We need a 7-day cure. They are gonna take, extra concrete cylinders that we may be able to have a 5-day opening. But our goal is to have it open next Monday or Tuesday. And then there'll just be one more pay estimate, number 2 and final.
Looks really good.
Yes, it does. I walked home yesterday. Emily and I went to church, then I had a meeting to attend, and she took the car home, and I walked home, and I walked through it, and walked down
Well,
the
I wanted to
street.
be the first one to drive on it, and I tried to last, Friday on just the side that was poured, cause the north side was wet, but I was vetoed. So I
Okay.
recommend payment, thank you.
Janet, did they find anything on, like, as
No.
far as what caused that?
No. The south side of where it was heaving was very wet underneath, but no, water main problem or any artesian well or anything like that. What we did end up doing was, blending the compaction back with some of the concrete, milling, or not concrete, we have for the gravel that we have, and then just put gravel on top of it. It was tested by the nuclear density tester, so we know it met the spec, so. But no, there was a time period there where I think like 4 or 5 days where you didn't see anybody over there at all. And we were letting it try to dry out naturally, which wasn't happening, so that's why we did the blending. So,
Probably more expansion than anything.
yeah, I think that the moisture didn't help, but I think the way that intersection was where it came to a pinch point with the concrete and with the temperatures that we had last summer, it just, once it started, it just kept going. So,
So with that, the blending and that, will we see any increase in the, dollar amount?
we are not supposed to. There are some quantities that were built in that were a little, extra in the actual bid process, so I expect it to come in right at or under. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the claims that are presented to us.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Clay to approve the claims. I think we ought to probably spend a little bit of time on, obviously, the major item and explain, why we're paying this now, and we just approved the contract last month, and there is no fire truck in sight.
And won't be for a little while. Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm Michelle Stoke. I'm the Finance Officer. And my address is 234 Main Street in Chadron. And so we had an opportunity. The invoice amount of the new ladder truck is $1.7 million. And we had an opportunity to recognize a discount if we paid it all up front. And so we got to kind of hopping around, and I contacted our HUD grant administrator and asked him how long it would take for them to reimburse the money, because this is a reimbursement type of a grant, which means you have to spend the money and then you get it back. And I wanted to know how long that float was going to be, and he said probably a month, maybe 6 weeks to 2 months, but it's certainly something that we can handle. So then the next order of business was to figure out if we had the liquid cash to cover this for a 2-month period of time, and if so, if it was restricted or unrestricted, and that's the calculation I went through in the memo. We have approximately, let's see, 6.3 million in cash that we could could pull from, and the unrestricted portion of that is 3.4 million. So that is plenty to pay it up front, take advantage of the discount. So the discount is 132,000, which, you know, it's worthwhile, and we wanted to be good stewards of the public's money. So the discounted price is 1.6 million. Our grant is for 1.4 million, and so the total cost to Chadron for a nearly 2 million piece of equipment is 219,000. I think that's pretty good return on investment there. So, any questions?
That probably doesn't take into account if we sell our
No.
truck.
No, it doesn't. So there would be that. The public safety fund has, which is the fund we use to service the public safety debt, that has about 258,000 in it. I believe we could certainly pull from that to cover the 219 portion of the portion that comes from the city. So, and then as far as the ambulance goes, this is something we've been saving for quite a while, and the 340,000 comes directly out of the ambulance fund, which currently the ambulance fund has 545,000 in it. No, 508,000 in it, so that would still leave a $200,000 fund balance in that fund. So that's something we've been putting money into that fund balance for as long as I've been here. So, and that is finally coming to fruition. The fire truck also, it's going to take a couple years before we actually receive it. And so that was another thing we wanted to make sure you knew, that yes, we're paying for it, but we're not going to see it for a while. And it's just specialty equipment like that just takes a long time to go through the works. Brandon could probably explain it more than me if you want him to, but other than that, I think we're doing quite well as far as being able to fund that and weather the float time. So. Yeah, he was excited when we told him about that. So, yeah.
So just let me, so you, so it's gonna float a couple months, and then, we'll pay part of it off, or the majority of it with the grant, and then the other 219 we'll take from the ambulance fund.
Yeah, and it'll just be a transfer because we're paying for it in full less the discount.
Right.
And then the requirements for the reimbursement of these types of grants is you have to be able to submit the invoice that shows what the amount is and a copy of the cleared check. So that's what we'll be waiting for, is the check to clear. And then I can create an invoice in the system and ask for it back. And take a couple weeks, and they'll direct deposit it into our deposit account.
Shane, I just wanna make sure, you asked if it was gonna come out of the ambulance fund for the difference?
Yeah.
The 200,000, no, it'll
No.
come out of the public safety fund,
Oh, gotcha, okay.
okay? Just so you know, it's not coming out of the ambulance, cause the ambulance fund is supposed to be regenerating for the next ambulance
Okay.
itself. Just like the public safety one will take care of the fire equipment, okay?
Awesome.
Anyone else have any questions?
I think it's a good move.
Good qualms about spending the money? Normally, I'd be concerned a little bit about the reliability of the manufacturer since it's a 2-year project, but, we'll risk our 200,000 in the meantime, if we, assuming that the federal government is gonna make do and in a couple months, we'll get the 1,400,000 back.
Well, and haven't you done,
I can give you some easement on that too, George, a little bit. The truck that you guys have selected with the ladder truck, that's that same city straight nose pumper that you have, that would be a 19. And so all we're doing is we're taking that chassis and we're putting a ladder on top of it. So you're still familiar with that chassis that we do have, so we're familiar in that aspect of it. And then our Schmiel side of it with the ladder is the same Schmiel company that's built in the past for all of us and for the fire department. So we're just merging them together. And also with what Michelle has said too, on that ambulance, there is still a grant from 75,000 was approved in '22. So once this goes through, we get delivery of that on Thursday, then we'll submit for the 75,000 to come back into that 28 account.
And then the only other thing we'd have on top of that is modifications to the building.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we'll need it to fit.
we've got 2 years to do that.
Yep, May of '27 is when that ladder truck will be here.
Fire school, May 27th.
Yep, you should come.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone have any other questions? Other items in the new bills, and I like to emphasize these kind of for the general public to see what we're doing. New ambulance, we're making a payment, $340,930.55. Has that been delivered?
Nope,
Yeah.
we're picking it up Thursday.
Picking it up Thursday, so. You gotta take the check to get the ambulance, huh? Those guys doesn't trust it, it's in the mail. Probably the only other thing I noticed, we made an air conditioner repair on an '05 Dodge Caravan for $2,043.50, and looking at the invoices, I thought, oh, okay. And then I looked at the mileage, and it has 232,393 miles on it. But I got a feeling it's one of those cases you know what you got, and so you just, and it must be worth it rather than junking it.
And one of the reasons why that was so expensive, we do not have the equipment to pull the Freon, the new Freon that's in there, and that's what costs so much for that particular unit. Otherwise, we would have just connected the air conditioner itself, but it runs everything, and so you have to have it. And that is the one being used out at the airport for when pilots come in and they need trips into town or any other things.
Okay, any other questions about the bills? Claims? If not, have roll call, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Okay. Next on the agenda is city manager evaluation, which a lot of these personnel things we hold in executive session, but city manager Tom Menke has requested that we do this in open session. Each of the council members filled out the forms that are given us by the Human Resources Office. I didn't sit around thinking up an evaluation for the city manager. It would have taken me a long, long time. I can do tax returns quicker than I could probably do something like this. And then they give them to me and I compile them from each of them, and they're rated on a number of things, with 5 being exceptional and 1 being unacceptable and 3 is meets expectations. And we had 6 areas. Organizational management, which we ended up with averaging everyone's input out to be 3.4. Fiscal and business management came out to 3.6. Communication and relationship with the mayor and city council came out at 3.0. Community and governmental relations came out to be at 3.4. Personal and professional traits, 3.4 also. And the overall performance rating was 3.4. So almost halfway between meets expectations and exceeds expectations. Any of the council members want to elaborate on their particular ratings or comments? All the comments were, and each of you, I sent this to you in an email and you conveniently left it at home.
You know, like everything costs money, and money is something we look at daily. And one of the comments I wrote for Tom on my comments on his fiscal and business management was, Tom shows solid financial leadership and attention to detail. He prepares accurate budgets, reports, and makes sound financial decisions and keeps operations running within establishment guidelines. I think he does a very good job at doing that. I'm just saying this, my personal opinion is, but I feel Tom loves Chadron. He's from Chadron, and he looks at this like his home, like his home he lives in, and he wouldn't be financially irresponsible at home, and he's not financially irresponsible here for the city. So give him props.
Well, I guess we'll just go down the row here. So I'll just do my overall assessment of what I said on Tom's evaluation. I said Tom brings dedication, integrity, and a deep sense of community service to his role as city manager. His financial acumen and steady leadership are assets to the city, and continued focus and communication and relationship building with others will help him reach his full potential. So that's my overall assessment of Tom. I think he does a good job, like Shane said, that he's very involved in the community. He's held a lot of hats being in the community. I think we're lucky to have him in our community and as our city manager. So.
Yeah. Same, I'll just read that part that I wrote. Tom is a dedicated public servant who takes pride in maintaining the public trust through the works and efforts of the city government. I also highlighted earlier in the eval that I just feel like the flow of information from Tom to us as council members has been pretty quick and efficient, and always keeping the good, what we need to know. Tom is a good nexus that information flows through, getting it to us as council members.
For my overall observation, it was pretty short. I think Tom's been doing an excellent job sticking with the budget and the personnel that we have. or, you know, lack of in some places. That's about it.
Okay, my summation was Tom's doing a good job for us. Urge him to keep trying to find those elusive grants. When it's possible, look at some expenditures in question, is this really necessary? And that comes from my background, in lack of a better term, being a bean counter. But that's the way I am. It's an interesting thing, and I have this conversation with Emily once in a while. I say, and my one daughter-in-law appreciates it. She said, you instilled in your sons, they have to get the best deal possible, and it's just something that's inherent, and so you're always looking at those items, and that's always running in the back of my mind. So, and I don't want to be critical about it, but that's something that's always there in the back of my mind. So Tom, I think it came out well. You okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to point out to the council, though, the reason why I think we're doing as good as we are with the city is we have some very, very good staff throughout the entire city. These guys have really stepped up to help me out through many challenges that we've had. I mean, it's always a challenge. It's never an issue with these guys. We take them and head them on. But the other thing too is I want to just comment too is that we also got community members that are active with our community. And one of the people that helped us out with like the fire truck was Deb, as far as that. She was instrumental in helping us to acquire the grant for it, and I appreciate those people helping, standing up for those kind of things, and I appreciate Deb doing those things. And that makes a difference. And I think, you know, when you guys are talking about community, we need to have people that are able to help us, give us a little crutch doing whatever other little things. So it's not just me that's being evaluated. This is the city, and as far as what we need to do. So if you guys see anything else or any other corrections or anything else, please encourage you guys to keep giving us. Thank you.
Okay, we do not need a resolution to excuse any of the council members. Public comment period. Anyone wishing to address the council on a matter not on this agenda may now do so, and your individuals are allowed a total of 3 minutes to speak. Do we have any takers? Appears not. City manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. I just got a couple quick things. One is, I want to encourage everybody to take the survey for the comprehensive plan that the city is trying to develop through Ayers Associates. It is something that we have a little QR code that's down here at City Hall. It's on our website. We are trying to send it out to different organizations that we feel is very necessary. I did take a time to reach out to Mrs. Meyer, Superintendent for the Chadron Public Schools, and Dr. Cooper from the Chadron State College, and asking them to actually send it out to their staff to see how we can help get everybody integrated together on these kind of different issues that we're looking at. The other things is the restroom, Janet didn't bring up, is done for the most part. We have one minor issue, but it's getting closer. Hopes is to have it open for the Parade of Lights. And so we are still working on the first flush opportunity as per mayor. And want to let him know that. Cowboy Trail has been completed and substantially done. There's a few just minor things that they're doing. Signage is one of the biggest things, but reason why I'm bringing up the Cowboy Trail is to let everybody know this is a bike trail. It is not a motorized vehicle trail. We have had people driving down and on the trail already. I would ask them to respect that this is a bicycle trail, bike or walking trail. So that is something that's being taken care of. And the other thing is as we get into more of the winter months, you know, alley cleanups, trash, anything else, help neighbors out, whatever we can do. We do have the dial-a truck for everybody that has an opportunity, 432-0528. Got questions, talk to Dustin and his crew down there at the street shop. Be more than happy to help you guys out with any of those things. And then the last thing is we have Denver Air Connect. That's gonna have their grand opening, ribbon cutting tomorrow from 4 to 6. I invite the council and the public to please come out there, welcome this company to us, and take a look to see what they have to offer. Their flights, their recommendation, or their employments have gone skyrocketing through for what we've been doing. Their employments have increased steadily week by week, and now they're ready to kind of show off. They wanted to kind of get their feet wet and make sure we got everything lined out and stuff. But I would encourage everybody to go out there, just say hello, take a look around, see what they got, and if we can take advantage of some of their services, please do so. It's going to be a great company. They've been very, very good working with the city so far, and very, very impressed with them. And if you guys have any other questions or any other concerns, please just let us know so that we can try to address them and keep heading them on, head on. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Council closing comments. We'll start with Clay.
First off, I hope everybody had a good Veterans Day. Want to thank all the schools for their programs that they do every year. Hunting season's in full swing now, so pay attention. The deer will be in town a little bit more. And I also recommend, if you're needing any meat, go to the Game and Parks website. They have the deer exchange program where the hunters who don't need the meat can donate it to local residents. My wife and I, we've gotten 3 deer already, with a 4th one, I think, probably at home already. So it's a great program. I encourage everybody to sign up for it if they can. That's about all I've got.
Okay, I was going to mention Denver Connections, open house, but Tom already did that. The other thing is, before we meet again, Thanksgiving will have come and gone. So have a good Thanksgiving. Be safe out there. When you're giving thanks for the blessings that we have in the United States of America, you might include, if you have a church of your choice, maybe attending a church or doing something to give thanks to everyone that we have here in the United States.
I just want to say that I played a little bit of football with Chadron State College, and seen a lot of different colleges and their facilities. And one thing I always notice is these colleges that Chadron State would always play would have way better facilities, nicer. I mean, obviously the bigger towns and stuff. And I don't know if you guys heard, Chadron State made the playoffs the first time, I think, since 2012, since they almost won the RMAC. But anyway, for little Chadron, it's a big accomplishment for the draw of players they can get to Chadron with our facilities and our geographic area. So I guess they're going to be playing is it this Wednesday?
This Saturday.
Oh yeah, it's this Saturday. Yep. So cheer them on.
Well, we were talking about Tom's evaluation and how civic-minded he is. So I just wanted to mention there's 4 openings on the fire department. I was on the fire department, so was Shane, for a number of years, and it Oh, and Tom was as well, and, for me, it was a character building experience. Hopefully, I did as much for the fire department as it did for me. So I encourage, some of our local residents, college students, whomever it may be. I know there's an age limit that, there has to be under, is that correct? No, 18 to. Yeah. So I would just encourage if anyone has an inclination to serve their community, to look at the fire department and maybe get a hold of Brandon Martins or anyone else on the fire department to sign up.
I was also gonna mention the Cowboy Trail. I've taken my bike on it a couple times. My wife and I have gone, and it's really nice. We've seen some of the signing going in. It does cross the dirt road out there a couple times, so there are some yield signs, and it's come together really nicely. It just right off of First Street takes you east to McHenry Road, and we've gone back and forth on it, and then also turned off and come back on the highway. It's a pretty nice little bike ride. Other than that, I just wanted to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving also. So that's all I got.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Made the motion, second by Mark. Roll call, please.
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Did you want to keep that?
No. You can
See you next month.